And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Australian Indian Radio's weekend special. And hey, it's not a very good day if you can see out there, weather-wise. But it's a good day for other things as well, yes. It's a good day for pakoras, staying inside and having that traditional pakora when it's raining. It's wonderful to see you joining me once again, yes. Welcome and wonderful to have your company. So let's now have a quick look at the weather, which is, as we know, not looking very good out there, but it's going to be like this throughout the day, a bit cloudy, and of course we have a fair chance of rain, and the UV rating is at moderate, which is remaining at 3.6, which is just below 4, which it was yesterday. But it is again wonderful to see that we are all getting on with all the things. So today we will look at many things which is current today, and as we know that this is a very, very special week. So the temperatures for today would be maximum of 21 with a shower or 2, possible rainfall 0 to 1 millimeter. As you can see, it's a light drizzle just out there, and the chance of a rain is 60%. Well, it's raining now. And Brisbane area partly cloudy, medium 60% chance of shower with light winds. Fire danger, of course, low, and UV index, as I indicated before, it is sitting at very low. Now, looking at the coronavirus cases worldwide, now it has changed quite a bit. And when we talk about all the things that are happening overseas, and when we look at what we have been able to do here, it is wonderful. So Australia, the confirmed cases so far is 7,409, and the recovery is pretty good, 6,877 with 102 deaths. Now worldwide, the figure is confirmed cases so far 8.5 million, and recovery is 4.2 million. Today we do have that figure. Normally sometimes they don't give us that figure, and the death toll remains at 457k. So the worldwide, the World Health Organization, what are they saying? And they are saying that at this point in time, the confirmed cases were 150,000 new cases of COVID-19, making the highest single-day rise since the pandemic began. Meanwhile, scientists in Italy have found evidence that coronavirus may be present in the country as early as December 2019. So, World Health Organization is saying, that we have a danger now. Says that there are 150,000 new cases, and nearly half of those cases were confirmed in the America, as World Health Organization Director Tedros Adhanom issued a grim warning. The director has issued new warning as global cases of coronavirus continue to rise. And this is a troubling scenario. The virus is still spreading fast, it is still deadly, and most people are still susceptible. More than 8.5 million people globally have been infected by coronavirus, and more than 454,000 have died, according to the data by Johns Hopkins. That's the data we rely on a daily basis as well. Dr. Tedros, whose leadership of who has been severely criticized by US President Donald Trump, urged people to maintain social distancing and extreme vigilance. And now, looking at all that and what's happening here, with the opening of the borders, and we saw what's happened right there in New Zealand. It was declared as coronavirus free, and then all of a sudden we had few more cases that were being reported. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the president of World Health Organization has urged that we need to keep that distancing, and it is very, very important that we do that. Now, wastewater collected from Milan has already shown that coronavirus may have been circulating in Italy as early as December. Scientists in Italy have found traces of new coronavirus wastewater collected from Milan and Turin, suggesting that COVID-19 was already circulating in northern Italy before China reported the first case. So that's a very, very interesting twist there. An analysis related on Thursday said samples that were taken from Milan and Turin in December 18 showed the presence of the virus. The research may help understand the beginning of the virus circulation in Italy. And now that is again something which they really need to work on. So UK, what's happening there? Well, the president there, he has lowers the alert level. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson wants kids back in school. Britain has lowered its COVID-19 alert level by 1 notch from 4 to 3 as Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced plans that every pupil to return to school in September. A joint biodiversity centre recommended by COVID-19 alert level should move to level 3. COVID-19 epidemic is a general circulation. So from level 4, a COVID-19 epidemic is in a general circulation, transmission is high and rising exponentially. So there's some news which is coming from England. And as we know that the Prime Minister has been in the news quite often. And Beijing outbreak is under control, says China. So what are they doing? There have been number of confirmed cases there, but they say that it is still under control, and they are doing some strict testings and of course the fumigation of all the areas. So China has declared a coronavirus outbreak in Beijing under control after confirming 25 new cases among test of 360,000 people. Authorities said a number of new confirmed cases and virus had remained stable in China's capital. A public health official has declared Beijing's latest outbreak as under control. So there you are, up to date on Australian Indian Radio's weekend special. And how's your weekend looking so far? I know there's lots of things that have been planned out there, but right now let's listen to our Minister Hinchcliffe, and he has got a very important message. As we know, this is the Men's Health Week as well. So, it is very important that we do understand that and we take some actions regarding that.
This year, for Men's Health Week, it's really important that we not only look after ourselves as men, but it's absolutely vital that when we have an issue, we go to the doctor, we visit our GP, we have a talk to them about it, and absolutely important, if you're crook, don't go to work.
And simple as that. If you are crook, just don't go to work. Keep away if you can and still maintain that social distancing that's been talked about. Now, U.S. renters faced with evictions. So, it's a grim situation there, and it is very, very hard for people to make ends meet. And of course, if you have no job and no rent, it makes it very hard. A torrent of evictions looms as U.S. coronavirus lockdowns are lifted, putting millions of people, often in black communities, at risk of losing their homes. Housing researchers and analysts have warned. Many states have halted evictions since mid-March as the novel coronavirus spread rapidly. But such provisions are scheduled to the end of the coming months as the country reopens. So that's the news coming in from US and what's happening there. But right now, let's look at, right here in Queensland, we have our stadiums coming back to life. And there will be people once again in stadiums cheering up for our teams. Let's see how that's going to look like.
We're really excited for the football to come back. We're really big fans. I've been following the Lions since I was born. It's like a big thing. It's sort of like our family thing that we do together. So if we will be able to go this weekend, that'll be really, really exciting.
We're greatly excited. I mean, to have fans coming back into the Gabba is a wonderful achievement, and we're just grateful that we've been able to work with the Department of Health and figure out a way that we can get patrons in safely and still comply to all the requirements within the community.
The COVID Safe Plan we developed in conjunction with the Department of Health and the other government agencies that have been involved in getting people back to major venues. So it's all around keeping people safe, and some of the measures that we've got are things like additional hygiene, we've got social distance measures in place, we're minimising movement throughout the stadium so we're able to keep people in certain zones.
Probably the big influences and the big changes that people can expect is that we'll be going to pretty much an exclusively digital ticket, so everyone will have to have their ticket on the mobile phone. We will be encouraging everyone to download and use the COVID-19 Safe app, purely because we want to be able to trace people and their movements and their exposure to other people within the venue.
We really want the fans to play their part. We can put all of the measures in place here at the stadium, but they're really only going to be effective if all the fans do their bit as well. If we do all of those things, everyone's going to have a safe and enjoyable afternoon out at the footy.
And correct, if we do all the right things, we will have a very, very enjoyable afternoons out there in the very, very Australian way. That's our way, and that's what we've all been used to, and that's pretty normal for us. But right now, looking at the Czech Republic, which recorded the largest case jump since April. So, that is, again, a bit of an alarming news coming out of there. The Czech Republic reported its biggest one-day jump in new coronavirus cases in 2 months on Friday, with the rise exceeding 100 for only the third time since mid-April. The number of new cases was 118 on Thursday, and the health minister said that the largest daily rise since April 21. The Central European country has since May been relaxing lockdown rules, with more easing which was planned for coming Monday. So when we look at all these figures that we have been talking about and the cases jumping back or up, so that brings home a message that we really need to be careful how we handle the releasing of all the restrictions, and in the manner in which our general public or everyone will behave, and what will be done. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Australian Indian Radio's Weekend Special Live Update from our studios here. As you can see outside, it's sort of a grim sort of a day. I stay at home day by all means. Traditionally, this would be the time for a little bit of pakoras and other things happening. But right now, as we know, our Prime Minister has been moving around the country, and of course, having to address all the things that are happening. It is not easy. It's very easy to criticize things that are being done, but when you are there on the coalface, having to do things, making decisions as we go, and trying to fit everything in. So one of the areas which I had a big discussion in a virtual group with ITO and many other multicultural community leaders is on there. I acknowledged and thanked ITO and of course Australian government in the way they handled the JobKeeper, the payments, and how quickly everything was done, how quickly the systems were set. Everyone had the accounting packages done, the categories that had to be created, the reporting that had to be done, the forms that needed to be signed. All of that got done in a very, very relatively short time. So with that, our Prime Minister likes to thank the people who actually worked behind the scenes to make that part happen. Let's hear from our Prime Minister himself.
During recent months, Australia has been facing two crises, two challenges, a health crisis and an economic one. The COVID-19 pandemic has seen Australians across so many fields step up during this time. One of the groups that has stepped up has been Australia's payroll specialists. We don't often talk about our payroll specialists except on an occasional payday. But you have been a vital cog in our national efforts over recent months, and the government in particular has asked a lot of you. Because as you know, we've had to move quickly to save millions of jobs, millions. And we did with JobKeeper, the biggest lifeline in Australia's economic history. And you have played a central role in that. As well, there have been changes to Fair Work and awards, and along with that, we supported small businesses' survival with a program to boost their cash flows of small and medium-sized enterprises, to support their employees. More than 500,000 businesses have received cash flow boosts totalling around $10 billion. And all of this was done in just a matter of weeks. It's been an extraordinary effort. It's been an extraordinary partnership. But it was all out of payroll specialists across Australia that actually made it work, rolling out JobKeeper to more than 3 million Australians, pay packets, almost immediately. Burning the midnight oil because families depend on it. You were their link. You were where they would draw confidence from. So as you gather for the year-end seminar of the Association of Payroll Specialists, many Australians probably don't know of that association. But I wanted to just say thanks for the great job you have played in helping your fellow Australians, for those you work alongside, for playing your part in what has been an extraordinary effort. I want you to know the country is proud of you, I'm proud of you, the Treasurer is proud of you, and you should be very proud of your own efforts that you've put in over recent months. We're still a long way to go, and I still need you out there doing that job every single day. So thank you very much.
And very well said. As we know, I mentioned that the speed at which the whole package was delivered and everyone working behind banning that midnight oil, as he's mentioned, is quite true. We know that how many people worked for late and long hours trying to make that happen, and many businesses as well were left in the, trying to find the right ways to do the right thing to get all the employees to sign in those declarations, and now finding and filling in those monthly declarations as well, the reporting systems that had to be put in place, the way it was handled in MYOB or any other accounting package that you may have, all these things had to be put in place very, very quickly. As we know that the JobKeeper is a payment from the government passing on to the employees, but through the employer. So, no one has to, the employees get that money. Employees are not to benefit out of that, and they cannot keep any of that money. So they have to really, really account that this was the amount received, and here it is, and it was passed on to the eligible employees who had actually signed up the forms to say that yes, they are eligible, and they allow this employer to receive the money on their behalf to be passed on to them. So, it was quite a large operation, and as he mentioned, that it was really, really put out in a very quick time and managed. Of course, any system that's been put in place that quickly will always have a little bit of flaws here and there. We need to realize that the effort that's been put in, and of course, bear with the facts. So right now, let's take a commercial break.
ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी 1989 से लेकर अब तक का विश्वसनीय और माननीय ब्रिस्बेन का रियल एस्टेट एजेंट है। उषा चंद्रा, जो कि ग्लोबनेट की डायरेक्टर है, अपने ग्राहकों को ईमानदार और एथिक सर्विसेज देती हैं। अगर आप ब्रिस्बेन की प्रॉपर्टी में पूंजी लगाना चाहते हैं और आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी प्रॉपर्टी को प्रोफेशनली मैनेज किया जाए, तो आप आज ही कांटेक्ट कीजिए उषा चंद्रा को। लैंडलाइन नंबर है 38654466 और मोबाइल नंबर है 0419775416। और आप प्रॉपर्टी की अधिक जानकारी और करंट अपडेट्स के लिए हमारी वेबसाइट पे लॉगिन कर सकते हैं। हमारी वेबसाइट है www.globenetreality.com.au। ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी आपका अपना लोकल रियल एस्टेट एजेंट है। हमारा पता है ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी, शॉप नंबर 5, 2281 सैंडगेट रोड, बुंदल, क्वींसलैंड। ग्लोबनेट रियलिटी, रियल एस्टेट इज अवर वर्ल्ड।
And it definitely is. And from next week, we will bring, probably on Thursdays, all the open houses that are taking place as we speak. Because, it is very important, as we know, that our community is very keen on keeping an eye on the property market. So, property investments, education, culture and tradition, key values of our community. So, it's very good to see that. Now, right now, it's time for international news. And on international news, we can't, leave aside the border conflict that's happening right now. So let's have a quick look at this report.
Chinese and Indian troops clash. Soldiers on both sides are killed. Can either side back down now? The This is China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Boy, 2020, what a year. Let me check my bingo card and see how I'm doing. Okay, I got global pandemic, Australian bushfires, murder hornets, confused bears, and wait, China-India border war. I think I got it. Bingo! I got 2020 disaster bingo. Hold on, this is actually really bad news. As we talked about back in May, there have been several clashes between Chinese and Indian troops here, along the line of actual control in Ladakh. It's one of many territorial disputes China has with its neighbors. Last month, there was even a 150-person brawl, with soldiers fighting and throwing rocks at each other. Well, this month, things escalated. A lot.
Both China and India are calling for peace, but blamed each other on Wednesday after soldiers fought at the Himalayan border, killing at least 20 Indian troops.
Oh, that's pretty serious. Now, they didn't actually shoot each other, but both sides fought with fists and sticks and threw rocks. Indian officials said that Chinese soldiers were also using clubs wrapped with barbed wire or studded with nails, like the ones in this image. Troops battled face-to-face for over 4 hours in the dark, some falling off cliffs. They didn't shoot each other because soldiers from both sides who patrol the area are unarmed to prevent something like that from happening. Most of the Indian soldiers died from exposure after falling or being thrown into the river.
This is the most serious escalation at the border in 5 decades, at a time when soldiers were actually in the process of disengagement. News agency ANI, quoting sources, is reporting that 43 Chinese soldiers have also been killed or seriously injured.
Now, there is no official number for Chinese casualties. And if double the number of Chinese soldiers were killed, I can see why the Chinese Communist Party might not want to mention that. In fact, China hasn't said much about the Chinese soldiers who died. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, however, had this to say.
विचार रखे हैं वह बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हम सभी देश की सीमाओं की रक्षा में दिन रात लगे हमारे वीर जवानों के साथ चट्टान की तरह खड़े हैं। उनकी वीरता, उनके कौशल, उनकी सूझबूझ पर देश अटूट विश्वास रखता है। इस सर्वदलीय बैठक के माध्यम से मैं शहीदों के परिवारों को भी विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि पूरा देश उनके साथ है, पूरा देश उन्हें नमन करता है। साथियों, पूर्वी लद्दाख में जो हुआ उसको लेकर आपने रक्षा मंत्री जी और विदेश मंत्री जी को सुना भी और प्रेजेंटेशन को भी देखा। न वहां कोई हमारी सीमा में घुस आया है, न ही कोई घुसा हुआ है, न ही हमारी कोई पोस्ट किसी दूसरे के कब्जे में है। लद्दाख में हमारे 20 जाबाज शहीद हुए, लेकिन जिन्होंने भारत माता की तरफ आंख उठाकर देखा था, उन्हें वो सबक सिखा कर गए। उनका ये शौर्य, ये बलिदान हमेशा हर भारतीय के मन में अमिट रहेगा। साथियों, निश्चित तौर पर चीन द्वारा LAC पर जो किया गया है, उससे पूरा देश आहत है, आक्रोशित है। ये भावना हमारी इस चर्चा के दौरान भी आप सबके माध्यम से बार बार प्रकट हुई है। मैं आपको भी आश्वस्त कर रहा हूं कि हमारी सेना देश की रक्षा के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रही है। डिप्लॉयमेंट हो, एक्शन हो, काउंटर एक्शन हो, जल थल नभ में हमारी सेनाओं को देश की रक्षा के लिए जो करना है वो कर रही है। आज हमारे पास ये कैपेबिलिटी
nuclear-armed countries has declared war, and they both seem to be trying to de-escalate the conflict.
China and India both expressed that they want to solve differences through dialogue to maintain the peace and stability of the border region.
Solving differences through dialogue. Maybe
Solving differences through dialogue. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard from Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, that he very much appreciates the effort of the soldiers, and as he mentioned that our territory has not been taken, and as per that news article, that on the border the fight that happened was without any gunshots. They were hand to hand, so people who fell off the cliffs or pushed or thrown in the river, that's how they died, because they were not allowed to be armed, so that there is no conflict on the border. So that was quite interesting, and we brought in a little bit of news there from Prime Minister Modi ji. As we know, his media team is pretty much up there. Every time they reach out to multicultural media worldwide, and all the videos and all the news articles through his PMO group gets out to all the media sources, including us. So that is very important, and that is very timely. And as you can see, he's pretty much out there with all the technology, and is never resting and getting those messages out to people wherever it needs to get to. So, keeping an eye on that situation, we will report, and as we know that most of you will always be getting the news on your news feeds and also on your mobile phones and apps. So, news. So, as I said, the news articles, thoughts that we present on this show are all available on public domain. But it's a collection of the key points that we present in this show format, just to highlight the events that have sort of taken place in a sort of a nutshell. So right now, let's look at the events very quickly. Katamita has opened. Congratulations to Kamarwell, and don't forget the Yoga Day by Indian High Commission, and of course Federation of Indian Communities of Queensland, Bala Sanskar Kendra, always doing a wonderful job. Art of Living, once again, a very well organized show there for Breathe Your Way, and this is also and Satish Rajendran, BSK. Gurdwara programs, and the langar has begun at Inala Gurdwara as well. So, make sure that you do attend. Numbers and, of course, COVID-19 rules still apply to all public venues. International Yoga Day, 21st of June, tomorrow. Vedanta Center, again, the yoga classes happening, and there's a list of all the events that they do, which is available. And if you are on our EDM, you would have received all that information to you yesterday. Ma Sarda's Kitchen, again, another initiative, Vedanta Center, which is quite good. Stand by. This is a very wonderful group, and Uniting Church and everyone are involved with that. Make sure that you do. Samarpan Meditation also presents it. And Young Sikh Professional Networks online CV checks. Positive parenting by our Vietnamese community. So there's a lot that's happening out there within the community, and it is wonderful to see all these things happening and taking place. But please, do visit your places of worship, your normal places, but always keep in mind what has been said, that you must always obey those social distancing rules. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this slightly wet Saturday, I'd leave you with a clip. And, you know, I've had an opportunity of, you know, playing a little bit of music with many groups, you know, through my journey of trying to be a musician. And one highlight for me was when I got the chance to join the Badali Brothers. It was like, I was like virtually trembling. My feet were going to give, you know, I said, what if something goes wrong? You know, performing with people like this of such a high caliber. Let's have a quick look at that and leave you with that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been wonderful having your company. You are always so good. It's good to see you always. And here's that clip at the convention center with the famous and esteemed Badali Brothers. And of course on the octagon.
आज जिहड़ा प्रोग्राम करवाया ना रल के जिहड़ा करवाया है चलो सारे दी सहमति नाल भज नठ बड़ी हुंदी है बड़ी जी भज नठ बहुत इहदे च हुंदी साडा भी इंतजार करना है नाले साडे वाल भी भजे फिरदे रहे यारां दोस्तां वाल भी स्टेज वाल भी बहुत भज नठ इहदे च हुंदी है जिस तरह ब्याह दा काम हुंदा है ना इस तरह ये प्रोग्राम का है तो मैनू पिछली पुरानी गल याद आई पाकिस्तान के वेले च उदों कंजरियां स्टेजा लाउंदियां हुंदियां सन ते चीज़ां किहड़ियां गाउणियां उन्होंने होलियां विच या दशहरे विच 10-10 दिन का प्रोग्राम होना पिंडां विच उन्होंने मुजरा कहंदे हुंदे सन ते कंजरियां ने मुजरा लाउणा ते कंजरी लत्तों सी लंगी लत्तों लंगी ते चीज़ कड़ी बोले नहीं अड़ियो मेरा दिल भी नहीं लगता ते अख भी नहीं लगती चीज आ बोले नहीं अड़ियो मेरा दिल भी नहीं लगता ते अख भी नहीं लगती को बंदा कहता भैना चंगी तरह वे तेरी ते लत्त भी नहीं लगती इन्हां दी उस दिन भी लत्त नहीं लगी चार दिन मैं देखा कदे किसी पासे भज जांदा कोई किसी पासे इन्हां दी उस दिन भी लत्त नहीं लगी फिर रल के काम देखो किस तरह करते ने बुढ़ी सी ते अखा तो पैगी सी अखा तो पैगी एक अख उहदी इधर नूं जावे ते एक इस पासे जावे ते आंदी मेरियां अखा हीमा माली नाल मिलदियां जे बड़ी सुनखी बन गई ते मेरियां अखा हीमा माली नाल मिलदियां ने लाको बंदा कहंदा भैणा चंगी तरह ते वेख लै तेरियां ते आपस विच नहीं मिलदियां इन्हां मिल के काम कीता ना चीज
एक नाम की शराब है नाम की शराब जी गुरुओं को मिलती है हकीकत की शराब वो सुनाउण लगे तुहानूं
So there, ladies and gentlemen, with that I'd like to say goodbye. It's been wonderful having your company. Until the next time, we'll see you again. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful.